yeah. Yeah. Ought to be, Lord, my blessed Savior, I surrender. I surrender all. Ooh, I surrender all to thee. You get all of me.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining so early. We're going to be starting in a few minutes. Let's just give you some people time to join. So thanks a lot for joining early.
I give you more, so much more. Oh, give you more. You deserve it more. Oh, the worship of me wants to be free from the cares of life that seem to weigh me down. Yes, the worship of me needs consistency. To lift my hands to give you praise when no one's around. Yeah. Oh, the worship in me wants to break free from the intellectual mentality. Like when I should be up, I'm seated in my seat. I should be lifting my hands, giving you praise and glory. Hey, I should be giving you more. I should be giving you more. Hey,
oh, the worshiper in me wants to be free.
Just wants to be free
from the cares of life that seem to weigh
from the
me
cares
down.
of life that seem to weigh me down,
Oh,
weigh me down
sometimes.
I wanna be consistent.
To lift my hands and give you praise when no one's around.
Lift my hands to give you praise.
Oh, the worshiper in me wants to break free
from the intellectual
mentality.
like when I should be up.
On my feet and in my seat.
I should be lifting my hands, yeah.
Giving you praise and glory.
Every time I get the chance, I wanna give my best to you.
I wanna give my best to you.
Yeah.
I wanna do what you ask me to.
Oh,
I wanna go wherever you say. Just say the word and
I will obey.
I wanna live life.
Good morning, everyone. Can I hear anyone's feedback? Can someone just say good morning so that I'm sure that I'm not speaking to myself this morning?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Great. Thank you very much for coming so early. It's always good to be part of the early birds. And I always love to start my trainings on time because I believe that everyone has an agenda for their day. So you can be rest assured it's going to be an exciting time today. We're going to spend about an hour together. And then after that, we'll have questions. If you have any questions, you can always put it in the chat box. At the same time, we will have time to interact after the training. And then once the training is over, you're going to receive the training slides via your email box or via WhatsApp. So just sit back and enjoy the class. Okay, so the reason why I thought about the topic mindset shift is because, of course, we all know that we're in a pandemic. And the first thing that a pandemic affects is not really our health, it's our minds. Because, for example, last year, a lot of us were isolated at home. This is something that we've never gone through in our lifetime. And the rate of mental health became alarming because people were just shocked at the number of jobs that were lost, the hardship and just the toll it had on families and individuals. So I thought it would be a good way to start the year to talk about our mindset and also to talk about mindset in line with our goals. If I'm going too fast at any point in time, just let me know. If I'm moving the slides too fast, just let me know. Aside from that, just sit back and let's enjoy the conversation. Today, we're going to be talking about three major things. The first one is, how can we develop strategies for big picture thinking? Because I know a lot of us feel like last year we didn't achieve as many things as we wanted to achieve. But the major thing that we did achieve last year was that we stayed alive. And for me, that was the biggest goal for last year, because it's only when you're alive that you can achieve any goal you set out to achieve. However, in 2021, a lot of people are thinking about how they can achieve their big picture goals. What can they do differently so that they have a different year than they had in 2020? That's one thing we'll be discussing today. The second thing is how to engage in goal setting during times of uncertainty. It's very difficult to engage in goal setting during times of uncertainty because you just never know what's going to happen. It's very, very easy to write out your goals and then it's disrupted. How do you then have your goals? Should you even have goals? Should the only goal be for 2021 to just survive, to just live and breathe? Or should we actually start having goals? We discussed that. Then lastly, instead of just having talk, you're going to have practical steps on how to put all of this into practice. So it's not just rhetorics today, it's rhetorics and action. How can we move beyond just attending a training? I'm sure all of you have attended trainings before where you've learned so much, but how do you end up putting into practice? The first thing I want to say is all of you should rap by the end of this training. Do you know what rap stands for? Can we all just shout out rap to me and I'll tell you what rap means? Can everyone unmute and say rap?
Rap.
Great.
Rap.
Okay, you can go on mute now. You can go on mute. Let me give you a few seconds for that. You can go on mute. Rap means you need to repeat, you need to apply, and you need to practice. That's one thing that you need to do at the end of this training. If you just come, you listen to the training, oh, it's good, oh, it was very nice, and then you don't repeat, you don't apply and practice. Research has shown that 87% of people who attend trainings do not utilize what they've learned at the trainings because they don't repeat it, they don't apply it and practice it. So I'm also going to be giving you tools today on how to repeat, apply, and practice what we'll be discussing today. So when you receive the slides, it's something that you can go through throughout the month of February, repeat, apply, and practice it. And after that, I'm sure it will become a way of life. Can I continue? Great.
Yes, please.
Okay, so why is this training important? I think I've talked about that. It's because of the current realities, and in spite of the realities, we want to make what? Progress. I always say something that on LinkedIn and all of that. I always say progress over perfection. I always say what? Progress over perfection. So I'm not here today to say we have to be perfect or your life has to be perfect. No. However, we must be making what? Progress. And I'm sure all of you want to make progress. You don't have to unmute, but where you are, you can just say, I am going to make progress in 2021. So say that quietly to yourself, I am going to make progress in 2021. Great. Now, when I was thinking about the training, one of the things that came to my mind was a labyrinth. A labyrinth is something let me just pause for a second. You can see the picture I have here. Imagine you walking in here and trying to come out. By the time you walk in, coming out is going to be really difficult. Some people also call this a maze, where when you go in, coming out, you keep on going through different corners. And this clearly depicts 2020 for me. It seemed as if we entered 2020 in January, saying, yes, I'm going to enter and it's going to be a normal year. And before you know it, it was a labyrinth. We were thinking about how to come out in our businesses, education, schools were shut. Then we had EndSARS. So many things kept on going wrong. The last year for me was just a labyrinth. Now, like I said, a labyrinth is something that is just complicated. Can you see it? Imagine entering this labyrinth and the next thing on your mind is, how do I come out? Today, I'll be letting you know how to come out of the labyrinth of 2020 and how to sustain it. So all of this is just an introduction to the meat of what we're going to be discussing today. So now we're getting into the training proper. How can I get out of this labyrinth? The labyrinth symbolizes the mind being trapped. You've been looking for a job for a very long time. People are not calling you for interviews. You've been trying different businesses. It's just not working. Your health. How can I get out of the labyrinth? How can I make progress in 2021? The first thing is your mindset. I always default to the Harvard Business Review. And when I was looking for definitions about mindset, one of the things that I loved about this, I'm sure you're reading it, but for those that might not be reading the screen, let me just read it out to you. Mindsets are leaders' mental lenses that dictate what information they take in and use to make sense of and navigate the situations they encounter. What information? You know, right now we're inundated with information on our phones. Everywhere we go, there's information. Right now we have information overload. What kind of information are you absorbing every single day? A lot of us think about climate change, but have you thought about mind pollution? There are a lot of things going on right now that you're absorbing and putting into your mind that for you, it's just, oh, it's just a video, it's just something here and there, but it's going to pollute your mind. And your mindset will become quite rigid and you will not have a growth mindset. Simply, mindsets drive what leaders do and why they do it. So it's very important for you today to say, I am not going to have the same mindset that everybody has. Because some people in 2020 had the best year ever. Some people's income increased. Some people got married. Some people had children. Some people built their homes. Some people did things they could never have thought of doing in their entire lives in the same 2020. So when a lot of people say, oh, last year was bad, for example, for me, 2020 was not a bad year for me. 2020 was an excellent year for me. It's all about the mindset shift. Now, what is a mindset shift? Now, I've sprinkled a lot of things on this slide, and I'm going to be reading them out and at the same time hammering on one or two. Is crafting your vision. What is the vision I have for 2021? Is thinking of a way out. Remember the picture I've shown you earlier about the labyrinth. How am I going to get out of it? Is thinking about it. Is celebrating small wins. Celebrating what? Small milestones, small wins. A lot of us are waiting for the day in which you are earning 1 million, earning 500, earning 100,000 before you celebrate small wins. What about the small progress you're making today? Are you celebrating that? Go and get yourself a bottle of Coke. Drink it and be happy. And say, yes, Doye, you were here last week. But right now you're making progress over perfection. Celebrate that. It's about not comparing. That's the mindset shift. It's about not comparing yourself to someone else. It's making incremental progress. It's trying. It's what? Trying. Every single day, I wake up in the morning, I say, today I am going to try. I'm going to do what? I'm going to try. And for people that know me as an individual, they know that even when I hit a wall, and I've hit walls several times in my life, I keep on pushing. I push, and I say, I'm going to do what? I am going to try. That's all I can do is try. Keep on trying every day. It's thinking differently. It's saying yes to opportunities, even if you feel like you're not the best qualified. Let me give you an example, a case in point. When I was 29 years old, now I'm quite, I won't say I'm old, I'm quite young. I'm going to be 41 in March. But when I was 29 years old, I had an opportunity to go to the Pan Atlantic University and be interviewed by the directors to start teaching. I did not look down on myself and say, oh my goodness, this opportunity might not be for me. As at that time, I did not even have a master's degree. I only had my first degree and I had wealth of experience and I had my passion. And when I went for the interview, funny enough, I didn't even wear a suit. I didn't even know so much about the university, but I knew I was going to a big school. And I sat down in front of two directors and I defended myself based on what my passion. And over 10 years down the line, I am still facilitating and teaching and mentoring in the Pan Atlantic University. Some of you know it as the Lagos Business School. I facilitate at the Entrepreneur Development Service Department. I am still there today. Why? Because I decided to make myself relevant. I decided to have a mindset shift. I decided to not sit down and list all of the problems, all of the reasons why I cannot do it. At the end of the day, they interviewed me and they liked me and I'm relevant. And I've even been able to grow on the job at the Pan Atlantic University. So don't look down on yourself. The first thing is you tell you, oh, I graduated with a 2-2 from this university, so I'm not good enough. Who says you're not good enough? I have a friend who graduated with a very, in fact, it was a pass. But at the end of the day, she's doing much better than even those that graduated with a 2-1 today. Why? Because she had a mindset shift. I remember distinctly years ago, over 10 years ago, having a conversation with her where she said, Doi, I graduated with a pass. And I said, even with that pass, you will make it. And she kept on getting jobs, kept on growing. She has traveled out of the country. She has achieved so many milestones with what? A pass. I am not saying you shouldn't have a first class, but I'm saying wherever you are, you can still achieve your life's goals. It's what? A mindset shift. Can we all say, I will have a mindset shift? Don't mute, but just tell yourself where you are. I will have a mindset shift. If you look at my t-shirt, I hope you can see it well enough. I have here hashtag what? Mindset shift. I am going to have a mindset shift. It's falling several times and getting back up. I love the scripture. The Bible says that a righteous man will fall 7 times, but he will get back up. So no matter how many times you've fallen, it's about dusting yourself up and saying, I've fallen 7 times, but I'm going to get back up the 8th time, the 14th time, the 21st time. Why? Because I have a mindset shift. It's believing you can. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else can convince you to believe in yourself. You need to believe in yourself. So I am going to have a mindset shift. So I'm moving on because I know that we have a lot to do today. Now, this question is for all of us. Is your mindset fixed or do you have a growth mindset? Now, some of you will be wondering what's a fixed mindset and what's a growth mindset. So let me go to the slide. Developing a growth mindset is saying, what am I missing? Instead of saying, I'm not good at this. Instead of saying, I give up, you say, I'll use a different word strategy. Instead of saying, it's not good enough, you can say, is this really my best work? I can't make this any better. You can say, I can always improve. When you get this slide today, please, even if it's just the slide alone that you internalize these words. I made a mistake. You say mistakes help me learn. I remember the acronym for math. Mistakes allow thinking happen. MATH. Mistakes allow thinking happen. So making a mistake is not the end of the road. For example, right now, Joe Biden is the president of the US. He's tried so many times. He's tried, right now he's really old, but throughout his life, he's tried various things and failed, but it's culminated into him becoming the president of the United States of America at this stage in his life. This is his time to shine. Instead of saying, oh, plan A did not work, you can say, A is just the first alphabet. I have up to Z. So this one doesn't work out. What else can I do? So I would like all of us to internalize these words, memorize them and say, I'm going to do. Do you know why? Because every single day when you go out there, we live in a very harsh environment here in Nigeria where insulting, bringing people down seems to be the order of the day. It seems to be normal for people to just bring others down. I tell people that PhD can also mean pulling him or her down. PhD. So make sure that you're not the one that's going to be pulling him or her down, because everybody is fighting a battle that nobody else can see, right? So make sure that this other side of it, where we say this instead of, make sure that these are the things that you internalize. Can I go ahead? If nobody says no, I will go ahead. Can I go ahead? Great, I'll go ahead. Do not compare. I know this is one of the things I put on Mindset Shift when I had so many things written down, but I wanted to bring it out to show you that you must never compare yourself. For example, I know in most of my trainings, I talk about shape, I talk about tags. For those of us that are here maybe for the first time, I'll just tell you what tags and shape mean. Tags means your talents, your abilities, your gifts, and your skills. You have your talents, you have your abilities, you have your gifts, you have your skills. There are certain things I cannot do well at all. I am zero at it. I can't do them well at all. Does that mean I'm a failure? No. Does that mean that I'm not good? No. But I wasn't shaped to do those things. Shape means your spiritual, that means your soul. You have a soul. Your heart, H means your heart. That means that you have some things you're passionate about. A means your ability. P, your personality. And E, what? Your experiences. That is what shapes you. Your soul, your heart, your abilities, your personality, and the experiences in life. The experiences you are currently going through and have gone through are totally different from somebody else's experiences. So you are shaped differently. And that's why you cannot compare, because somebody else might have just been so intelligent, come out with a good degree, immediately after school gotten a job, and immediately start earning over 100,000. After that, get married. After that, have children. So by the time that person is speaking with you and you're saying, I'm still struggling, the person will be wondering, why are you so lazy? And become what? Judgmental. However, the person doesn't know that you had to train yourself through school. The person doesn't know that you also actually came up with a 2-1, but you were never fortunate enough to hit it and get a very good job. Your own life story and experiences is different. So that's why we must not be hard on each other and we must not compare. And there's a quote I saw online that I love. It says, people don't post their failures. People don't go online and post their failures like that. But I like LinkedIn for one thing. A lot of people go online and say, this is the 30th time I applied for a job. And finally, LinkedIn family helped me celebrate. I finally got a job after applying for 30 times, after applying for 12 months. People are gradually beginning to say, let me also post my challenges to encourage other people. So tell yourself, just say where you are. Do not compare. I will not compare. I give you 2 seconds to say that. Okay, I believe we've all said we will not what? Compare. Now I'm getting into the crux of the training for today. All of what I've said was just an introduction. All of what I've said is what? Just an introduction. Now, goal setting during times of uncertainty. Can we all say that? Can we all say that? Goal setting during times of uncertainty. Great. Why is it important to set goals? You need to have a sense of purpose, right? You need to use your time to the best of your ability and stick to your plans. It will help you to be successful. You need to have goals in line with your relationship with your Creator God. You need to have goals in line with your relationship with your family. You need to have goals in line with your career and your business. You need to have goals in line with your health. These are different quadrants that you need to write out and have goals. For me, this year, I have goals in line with various areas of my life. The areas in which I want to do better when it comes to my relationship with God, I have written it down. I am going to also give you tips, because a lot of us write a lot of things down. We never accomplish them because we write too many things down. I encourage you to not write more than 3 goals in each one. So for example, goals in line with your relationship with God. You could say every month, I want to memorize 2 scriptures. By the end of 2021, you would have memorized 24 scriptures. That's better than what you did maybe in 2020. Instead of you saying, I want to read the whole Bible, I'm going to do this, I want to read, and then at the end of the year, you've not even done anything. Can you set lower goals, lower the bar? Once you've accomplished it, you raise the bar. Imagine if I say I want to memorize 24 scriptures, and by June I've done 24. That means I can raise the bar and now do 48, maybe by the end of the year. In line with maybe my career and my business, I also wrote down 3 goals. For example, I said this year I'm going to do 3 free trainings, 3 free webinars. This is the first one happening in January. And I'm going to have a second one, and I'm going to have a third one, totally free of charge, just to encourage people, inspire people, impact people's lives. If at the end of this training, I have even one person that has learned something, all of the time and the money I've spent putting this together, for me, is worth it. I need only one participant to learn today, and I'm good to go. That is the kind of goal I have. Then for my career, I also have a goal. Then in line with my finances, I've written a ballpark figure that I want to save and invest in 2021. All of these are written. And when I said that, I know some people are saying, you've written down what you want to save and invest. Me, I don't have a job. We'll get to that, okay? Calm down. Because I'm a mind reader. I can read your mind, okay? So let me move on. You have to know where you want to go in order to do what? Get there. Now, these are examples of what all of us feel. You know, when you are registering for this training, there was a question that we asked. What is something you want to achieve in 2021? And this is what all of you put down. Some of you said, and I will read it out. So this is from you, it's not from me, it's from all of us. You said you want to have a deeper relationship with God. Some of you said you want to stay alive, right? Some of you said you want to be out of debt. The debt in your life is too much. You are owing everybody when you're not down with it. How can you be owing the whole world? You say you want to get out of debt. Some of you say you want to change your job. Some say you want to increase your income. Specifically, someone said between 500,000 to 1 million monthly. Somebody said, I want to start a master's program this year. Another person said, increase my customer base in existing business, build a house, get married, have a child, start and grow a side hustle. Now, do you agree with me that all of these goals are big goals? For example, if this year I decide that I want to get married, that is a life-changing decision. It's something that can make me or mar me for the rest of my life. So it's important for you to understand that if, for example, imagine me now having all of these goals I've read out to you. Only me. I want to have a deeper relationship with God, stay alive, be out of debt, change job, increase my income, start a master, start a business, increase my customer base, build a house, get married, have a child, start all in 2021. I've set myself up for failure already. Why? Because you have too many big goals. You cannot have so many big goals in the same year when you have a pandemic and uncertainty. If we were in 2019, you could try. Even in 2019, when you would try it, the reality on ground is when you have too many goals, the chances of you not hitting anyone is high. Not to talk about being in a time when things are uncertain, when they're still saying vaccines and all. So the first thing you do is you breathe. Can we all inhale and exhale? You breathe. You breathe during the time of uncertainty. So first of all of these things are written. If you are supposed to look back, I have a slide on that asking you, if you're going to look back at the end of 2021, let's fast forward to the end of 2021. What is the one goal you would like to achieve? Then that is your major goal for 2021. You might just start by writing one goal under the quadrant of God, one goal under the quadrant of your career and business, one goal under the quadrant of finances. For example, the one goal there could be, I want to get out of debt. If you accomplish that in 2021, that means you're entering 2022 with your income being what? Your income. That's a fantastic goal. You could also write goals in line with your health. This year, I'm going to exercise every month. I am going to make sure that my health status is better. I'm going to make sure I take multivite, something like that. So let me move ahead. I love this picture, and I love to have, I hope you like my training slides. For those of us that are not just putting in your earplugs and washing plates in your kitchen while I'm talking. For some of us that are looking at my slides, do you like this picture? Can anyone tell me whether you like this picture?
Yes, I love it.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice, beautiful.
Yes, we do.
this is just a picture to depict how it is in your life when you have too many goals. Your boat will sink. Your boat is your life. It will sink. You can't have so many goals. If right now you're looking for a job, that is your key focus area. That's your overarching objective. It's to get a job. But you can't say you want to do that. At the same time, you want to do this other thing and all. I hear some of you saying, but what about the God factor? I have a slide on that. This training is what? Complete. But at this point in time, I'm saying, don't let your goals sink your life. Don't compare because somebody else, a lot of us go online and say, do you know the Amazon? You know Elon Musk? This other person, plus he made all sorts of money. Then some of you now enter MMM, and then you lose all your money. Let me just give you a financial tip. There's something Warren Buffett always says. He says he has never lost his capital. He can lose his profits, but he will not lose his capital. So maybe another time you can have a training on finances. But one tip for you is make sure that anything you want to invest in 2021, don't lose your capital. Now, to further illustrate the life of someone who has so many goals and all, I wanted to use the analogy of a bird. Two birds to be exact, the hummingbird and the eagle. The hummingbird, so my question to you, and I want all of us, whenever we're conversing, to be asking ourselves, in 2021, are you a hummingbird or are you an eagle? That is the kind of conversation I want us to have. Other people that did not attend this training will not understand our codes. But by the time I break it down, you understand the codes of being a hummingbird and being an eagle. A hummingbird is a bird that is fast, right? But do you know what happens? It ends up living for a maximum of 12 years. For most of them, they actually live between 3 to 5 years and they die out. For those of them that are extremely lucky, they live up to maybe 12 years. What from the research I did, the longest lifespan they've seen so far is 12 years and 2 months. They can flutter their wings 60 to 80 times per beat. They are fast. They can do so many things. They do so much, but they don't live that long. So my question to you is, do you want to have hypertension in 2021? If that's what you want to do, please go ahead and have so many goals, do so many, don't rest, just be looking for money under the bridge, everywhere. I want to kill myself. I must make it this year or nothing. Remembering there's a pandemic out there and you need to stay alive first to actually live out your goals. You see, a lot of people end up having all of this money later on. There's something that's like, you have all this money, you work so hard during the days of your youth to have it, then you keep on treating yourself for various ailments at the later stage of your life with the money you get at the time of youth. That is something that happens. Okay, let me wait for us to get it. Okay, good. So do you get the point? The point basically is a hummingbird is very fast. So sometimes we are moving so fast. If any of us can get this book, Flying Without a Net, I will send it out to all of us. And I also put it on my LinkedIn page, Flying Without a Net. That book talks about high need for performance individuals that are always trying to, the person that wrote the book is a Harvard business professor. And his name is Thomas DeLonge. What he talked about in that book was that when he even became a Harvard, when you're at Harvard, you're just the best, the top brains. He said when he got to Harvard, he was not a Harvard business professor. He discovered that there was somebody else there who had a Nobel Peace Prize, for example. So he was still comparing himself that I'm just a professor in Harvard, but somebody has won a Nobel Prize. And of course, the one that has won the Nobel Prize was still comparing himself to someone else. So no matter how much we go, how far you go, there's always going to be somebody better. Does it mean we shouldn't strive? No. Let me move on with this. Are you an eagle? Can you see an eagle? An eagle soars. An eagle does what? It soars. And the fact about an eagle is an eagle symbolizes freedom and peace. Eagles can live for up to 30 years. Remember what I said about the hummingbird? A hummingbird can live for up to 12 years, maybe 12 years, 2 months. An eagle can live up to 30 years. When it's flying, unlike the hummingbird that is going so fast, the eagle will just, let me go back to the other slide, will just glide. Breathe in and out, take their time, make sure that things are going well. I am not saying you should be phlegmatic about life. People that know me know I'm a driven person, know I'm hardworking, know that I love to get things done. I'm self-driven. At the same time, I have had to learn to calm down and to breathe in and out. If not, it will affect me in the short, medium, and long term. So my question now is, which one do you want to be? Do you want to be the hummingbird or do you want to be the eagle? Are you in a hurry to achieve the goals of 10 years in 1 year? For example, maybe you've been trying for 15 years to build a house. You now say, 2021, I'm going to build a house. Are you going to rob a bank when you're earning 20,000 naira a month? How are you going to start gathering the cement to build the house? So you want to go and rob a bank, or you want to do MMM and gather people's money and do 419, that's when Satan comes in. So the reality on ground is you still have to take your time to do it. The first step instead is maybe you need to do a master's program and at the end of the day, get a better income. I was speaking with my husband recently and I said, the decision I took about 10 years ago to go and do a master's paid off because my income has gotten higher by 5 times compared to what I was earning then. So I had to ask myself 10 years ago that if I want to move above this income level, maybe I need to go and get a master's. For some other person, they'll say, maybe I need to go and learn a skill. For some other person, maybe I need to do some short courses and trainings here and there. And by the way, I have training assistants here with me. I want you to take note of those that came early. I know that Eunice came early. Eunice is going to get a training certificate. For the top 3 people that came early for this class today, I'm going to give you training certificates. For the rest of you, you beg me first for coming late. Are you moving so fast that you cannot stop and celebrate the progress? You do this one, well, the next thing is, oh, I've done it, you move on to the next. It doesn't end. Stop and smell the coffee, stop and celebrate. Are you setting too many goals because of social media and peer pressure? Peer pressure does not end in secondary school or university or primary school. Peer pressure exists today. When, for example, like I'm doing this webinar, somebody else say, I'm not even doing webinar. I've not even started doing webinar. Calm down. You will start at the right time. So don't compare at all. Are you going to focus on your goals, yet understand that achieving them takes time? It takes time to achieve your goals. Just say no to more pressure. Can we all say that together? Don't have to unmute, but just tell yourself, I'm going to say no to more pressure. Because already life is pressure. Do we agree? Living in Nigeria, getting from one place to another, being in traffic, trying to even stay alive, the healthcare system, insecurity, there's already enough pressure around. So don't add more pressure to your life. Now, we're getting towards the meat of it and towards the end of the training, okay? So please, if any of you wanted to leave, don't leave, just hang in there. We'll soon be done. Now, we're going to talk about strategies for big picture thinking without pressure. So I've said quite a bit. I've had my introduction. I've talked about goals, importance. Right now, what should our focus be? Focus on what you can control. You cannot control the ravaging pandemic in the US, in Nigeria. Focus on what you can control. What you can control is to keep yourself and your family safe. What you can control is to make sure that if you are working, you're doing the best you can at work. What you can control is if you have a side hustle, make your side hustle the best and then sell your product or service and continue to push at it. That is what you can control. Anticipate disruption. Remember last year, when we started off the year, it was good. Then we had the pandemic. Then when people were now saying, oh, the pandemic is even going down, thank God, we can go back to life. The lockdown is off. We had NSAS. So you need to anticipate disruption. Tell yourself that these are my plans. They look fantastic. I've committed them to God, but anything can happen. That is life. Rank your goals in order of priority. Remember the question I said, if at the end of 2021, you can achieve only one thing, what would that one thing be? So rank your goals so that you don't end up working on the goal that is not as important as the major goal first. So rank your goals. Set flexible result-based goals. Set fewer goals that you think you have time for. So set fewer goals. That's what you can do during times of uncertainty. Set fewer goals, set flexible goals, and at the same time, rank your goals. And when I was thinking about this class, I said, I'm sure 99% of us know about the smarter principle. For anyone that doesn't know, SMART means specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. And then they've added ER, saying smarter, which means evaluate and reevaluate. But I didn't want to use that today. So I said, okay, let's talk about the PACT model. So by the time you receive this slide, you can memorize PACT. P stands for purposeful. What is my goal in the short, medium, and long term? What's my focus? What's the purpose? Actionable. How can I make progress? So I ask myself that question every day. How am I going to make progress today? The next day, how am I going to make progress today? The next, how am I going to make progress? Continuous. What are the activities I need to keep on doing? What are the things I need to keep on hitting on until this wall will move? What do I need to keep on doing? You cannot get discouraged. Trackable. How will I know I am going in the right direction? If you don't write down your goals, if you don't have them written down, you won't even know when God has answered your prayers. You won't even know when you've made progress. So PACT. So where you are, can we all say PACT? I will use the PACT model in 2021. So just say that where you are. I will use the PACT model in 2021. I'll be purposeful. I'll make sure I take action. I'll make sure that whatever I'm doing, it's continuous. I continue to do it, and I'll make sure that I track what I'm doing. PACT in 2021. If I'm doing good, just where you are, put your fingers in the air. Thumbs up, thumbs up. If I'm not doing well, I can't see if you do give me thumbs down, so it's fine by me. Now, another model I wanted to give, I'm giving you 3 models today. The first one is PACT, the second one is GROW, the third one, towards the end of the slide, you see CLARE, it's another one. GROW means your goal, the reality, options, and the way. The goal, what do you want? So what do you want to achieve this year? Where are you now? You must face the reality of where you are right now. We're in a pandemic, I don't have a job, and my health is not good. For some people, what they need to do in 2021 is have better health so that they can actually achieve goals. What can I do? What can I do in 2021? And what will I do? So there's a difference between what you could do and what you will do. For some of us, we refuse to take action. We need to take action. So I put these models in here just so that post-training, when you get the slide, you can do a deeper dive, deep thinking into the GROW framework. Now, I can hear some of us saying, lower the goals, lower the goals. I keep on saying lower the goals and all. I am not saying you should not have stretch goals. However, remember that this training, if I was going to do this training in 2018, I would have different slides. But right now, we're in a year where we are in a labyrinth, where everything seems complicated, where everything seems uncertain. The virus is mutating, get a lot of bad news here and there. At the same time, you should still have stretch goals, but this is where the God factor comes into place. You have your faith and miracle goals. So what I do is I'll write down my goals based on where I am right now. I earn 5,000. So where I am right now means I can save maybe 1,000 naira a month. That's where I am now. I will now write my miracle goals that depend on the power of the God I serve. That God, by the end of the year, I can save 1 million, even if I earn 5,000. Why? Because there's nothing God cannot do. 1,000 years is like a day, and a day is like 1,000 years in the sight of God. You could be in December, the last day of December, and all of your goals and your dreams of 2021 comes to play. That is the God factor. So write that list down. I believe I'm speaking to Christians, fellow Christians. So write that down and use it as a prayer point every day. Because remember, Ephesians 3:20 says that God can do immeasurably more than we can think of or imagine. Do what you can, then remember you have given the stretch goals over to God and trust his what? Timing. Because for you, you need to be healthy enough to achieve those goals. So that's why you need to have 2 different lists. One that you pray about every day and you commit to God. One that is based on where you are. At the same time, you have goals that you want to keep on growing, incremental growth, because there's so much disruption. Then you have the other one. And so you're working based on both of them, but you know the other one is wholly dependent on the power of the God we serve. Now, we're getting towards the end where I just want to talk about how to translate words to action. Practically, break your task down.
Oh, sir, Magbe. I thought I wanted to take the dog back.
Okay, thank you. So break your task down into small chunks. So if you have a goal this year of saving 1 million, divide 1 million into 12 months. That means that every single month you need to be saving and investing a certain amount of money. If by maybe March, you've not even done that. That means that you have to lower it because you can't achieve it by December. Bearing in mind of also that God has his own list. Don't forget that point. But you divide it into smaller quadrants. It makes it easier for you to achieve a bigger goal. Doing something is more progress than doing nothing. So make sure you are doing something. It's better than folding your hands, sulking, and doing absolutely nothing. Keep your eyes on the prize. This is what I want to achieve. This is what I want. For example, I said I want to spend about an hour with all of you today. For me, this is my goal and my focus for this hour. After this, I can do other things. Do not have too many goals. Do not be tempted to compare. So what do you think? Now, this is a question for all of us. If you could achieve only one of these goals in 2021, what would it be? So that's a question I have for you. If you could achieve one goal this year, what would it be? How can you take baby steps daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly to achieve your goals? And how will you reward yourself? So how can you make progress every single day, week, month, and achieve your goals? In conclusion, remember I said we have the pact, then I talked about growth. Now the last one is clear. In conclusion, you need to make sure that, let me just tell you what clear means: collaborative, limited, emotional, appreciable, refinable. Collaborative, work with others, which helps increase your accountability when goal setting. So in all that I've said now, think about having a partner, having a mentor, having a coach, having people that you connect with that can keep you accountable, that can encourage you throughout the year to achieve your goals. When you've written your goals down, share them with a friend, and then make sure that you have an accountability partner. So one challenge I'm giving you today is to have an accountability partner as a result of attending this training. Goals shouldn't be too broad or take too long. Don't have goals that are just windy. Make your goals as specific as possible. Make goals that you can feel emotionally invested in. Remember I talked about your shape. There's a way in which you've been shaped. Your heart, the H in shape, stands for your passion. You need to set goals that are in line with your passion. That way, it'll be easier for you to wake up in the morning and want to achieve them. Appreciable. When setting goals, give yourself milestones that let you see your progress. Keep on checking. Oh, am I making progress? I said I was going to apply for a job. I've done that. Even if no one has called me, I'm making progress. I am trying. I am making sure that my mindset is what is shifting. Refinable. Life is full of unexpected situations. Allow your goals the flexibility to handle them. So don't be so hard and harsh towards yourself. Now, keep calm. Don't stress. Relax. Don't worry. Enjoy your life. Go outside and just breathe in fresh air. Even though in Lagos, it's more of polluted air, but still breathe it in. Be positive. Slow down. Have days when you say, I'm going to take today to slow down. And if you're someone that every day you are slowing down, maybe you need to go a little faster. Because some of us, we need to slow down. Some of us, it's inaction that is actually killing us. So we need to start doing something. And don't forget to have fun, because you don't want your whole life to be ticking things off the list. One of the things the Harvard business professor said in that book, Flying Without a Net, Thomas DeLonge, said that one of his colleagues, a professor, said, come into my office. And then he showed him stacks of papers where all he had written, to-do list. And so, someone else in the book said, when she kept on removing things from her, for me, I prefer to call it a to-achieve list. When she kept on removing things from her to-achieve list, she kept on putting more things. So the reality is it never ends. So take it easy, unplug. Have times when you say, I'm going to unplug, I'm going to unwind, and then you need to tell yourself, I'm going to be happy. Okay? Now, I want all of us to unmute, and I want us to read this slide out together. So I'll give you a few seconds to unmute, and all of us are going to say 1, 2, 3, go.
I am responsible for every result.
I'm for every result in my life.
Result in my life.
I am responsible for every result in my life. If I want different results, I have to change my thoughts and actions.
Change my thoughts and actions.
Great. So you can go back on mute for a second. Great. I am responsible for every result in my life. It's my life. If I want different results, I have to change my thoughts and my actions. Memorize the scripture in Proverbs 18:21. Life and death are in the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruits. Life and death. So when everybody, I always say, when everybody is saying, but there's no this, I will not join them to say it. I will not say, even if I see it staring at me in the face, I will not say, because I, as a Christian, I know that life and death is in my tongue. I will not attract death. Even when I see the death staring at me in the face, I will not. Because I am responsible for every result. I, not my parents, not my spouse, not my family, I am responsible for it. And so I will make sure that I take that action every single day. Now, I've come to the end of the training, and I want to just encourage you to dare to be different, to dare to think differently. I'm going to just run through for 5 seconds to remind us of what we said today. At the beginning of the training, we talked about a labyrinth. We talked about the fact that a labyrinth is complicated. Then we moved on and said we need to have a mindset shift. Having a mindset shift is about thinking differently. It's about not comparing. It's about saying yes and believing in yourself. Then we asked this question, are your goals sinking your life? And we showed the slide about a boat where you have so many goals, it's sinking your life. And we talked about the fact that, yes, you should have big picture goals. At the same time, since we're in a pandemic and we're in times of uncertainty, you need to do what? Calm down. And we decided to breathe in and out. Then we went on and we talked about pact, clear, grow. These are models that we said we're going to imbibe, we're going to read them, understand them, post-training when you receive the slide, and then make sure that you implement them. Then we went on and talked about the fact that no matter what happens, we must not be a hummingbird, we must become what? An eagle. Because a hummingbird achieves so much, but only lives 12 years, 2 months, max. But an eagle will achieve a whole lot more, even with peace of mind, and can live up to 30 years. So we said we're going to be more of eagles as against hummingbirds. And then we said we're going to dare to be different. So I want to thank all of you today for taking time out of your busy schedule, using your data and all to spend 1 hour with me. Like I said earlier on, I'm going to be having more free trainings. I'm also a life coach. If you want to have one-on-one sessions, you will pay. That one is not free. But I'm always available to connect with you. I'm always available to give ideas. Please follow me on LinkedIn, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram. I have videos I post every single week. And those videos are videos to encourage people on different topics. Some of my videos are spiritual, some are capacity building. You can go there and look at my archives and look at different topics, and you can also learn from them. So thank you very much. At this point in time, I can be taking questions. Give me a second. Okay, so someone asked if there's an acronym for SHIFT. No, I don't have an acronym for SHIFT, but I can think about it. So at this point in time, if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask, and then I'm available to answer. So thank you very much for your time. Do you have any questions, anyone? Anything you'd like to say, any feedback? I'll take that.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can.
Okay, yeah.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
So I just want to say mine is more of actually a comment, just to sort of express my deep gratitude to you, because I know that putting all this together, the content is very rich. That the time it took you, the energy you invested in this, and I just really pray that also that in multiple folds that you also reap the reward. But definitely, what I'm taking away is the issue of mindset is key. It's if you change your mind, it will have a lot of impact in how also you in achieving your goals. So I'm taking that away. A growth mindset is very, very key. You know. But thanks for all the points that you are highlighted in the slides. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shani. Thank you so much. Those are very encouraging words, and I appreciate the fact that the growth mindset is it. So thanks a lot, Shani. I appreciate that. Any other feedback from anyone or any question as we end the training.
All right.
And also
can you hear me?
On YouTube, if you have comments. Sorry, you can go ahead.
Yes,
Okay.
Victor Waubani from YouTube said, yes, I'm going to make progress in 2021. I'm saying no to more pressure. And Anne Morris said, thank you so much. God bless you for giving back.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much.
All right.
So,
I have a question.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much for taking your time to just take us through this wonderful slides and encouraging message. I want to say thank you. I pray that you keep growing in as much as you expect us all to grow. And for me, my question is, I want to find, is there a way to synchronize our expectation and our goals? Because in life, there are expectations, even from ourselves, and even from maybe guardians or somebody above us or somebody that is, hoping that we'll become better in the future. At the same time, we have our goals that we want to achieve. So how do we make both, things together? Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. I think that's an excellent question. Really, really excellent question. Now, people have expectations, and then at the same time, internally, we have our goals. Synchronizing it now, that's one of the main reasons why we even have the training, because synchronizing it has to do with you as an individual. For example, there are families in which they will say, you don't know you're the first child. You don't know that your people are following you behind. That's their own expectation. Their expectation is that by now you should even be training all of your younger ones. However, there's something called the reality on ground. The reality on ground might be that you've not even been able to take care of yourself, not to talk about taking care of other people. So the first thing is to be able to have a conversation within yourself and then also have external conversations. Because if, for example, I say today, a lot of people say, oh, by now I thought you should have done this. By now I thought you should be here. Well, that's your expectation. That's your worldview. I have my own internal battles. I have what I'm going to, and I have my own goals that I've written down. So it's being able to say no. No is a very, very short word, but it's being able to just say no. No to the external, yes to the internal. Because the reality on ground is, once you're not someone that has deliberately decided to be slow, to be phlegmatic, to be lazy, I am assuming that all of us that are here have decided I am going to make progress in 2021. That means that the goals that you have set down are goals that I'm very sure to an extent are even stretching you. If somebody then comes with more dead weight to say, this is what I expect of you, and all, calmly and nicely let them know that you have goals that are short, medium, and long term. Maybe a short-term goal could be 1 year from now, this is where I want to be. A medium-term goal could be 3 years from now, this is where I want to be. A long-term goal could be 5 years from now, this is where I want to be. So maybe the expectation externally that they have is actually your 5-year goal. And they expect you to achieve it within the 1 year. No, it's not going to be possible. At the same time, if somebody now comes and they talk to you about a goal that you have also written down for 1 year, you tell them, oh, I was even thinking about it. Oh yeah, fantastic, spot on. Just as you can break your goal down into 1 year, 3 years, and 5 years, you can break your year into quarters. So the goal you want to achieve by the end of the year, you can't bring it in to the first quarter of the year. So synchronizing it is, number one, being realistic about where you are. Number two, having these goals at the same time, knowing that goals of 10 years, remember there was a slide I said, do you want to achieve the goals of 10 years in 1 year? You could achieve them, but you might end up having high blood pressure in the process. You could achieve them, and then the person ends up saying, oh, I'm diabetic. Why? Because maybe the person wasn't eating well. I have low blood sugar. I have a lot of these top guns. You find out that, let's even use the example of Steve Jobs. I'm not saying that he brought it on himself, but a lot of people do the research. You find out that they want to be like the hummingbird, achieve, because the world is expecting so much from them, and then they crash their health. And they're not even alive long enough to see their children, to enjoy other things that come along with achieving results. So decide today that you are the master of your fate. Remember this slide, you are the master of your fate. If the world comes with its own goals, put them into quadrants, dump them in 5 years from now, dump them in 3 years from now, or 1 year from now, write it out. And then say, this is what I can do now. For example, if you say you want to do a master's degree, you might need 24 months to do that. So no matter the expectations externally, you're going to have 24 months to do that. Not to talk about being in Nigeria where ASU goes on strike, it might be 36 months. So imagine if somebody says your friend abroad that has just gone abroad, I'm back with my master's, and you are still saying, I have not even started. Why? Because ASU has been on strike for 1 year. These are the realities we face in Nigeria, right? And that's why you need to do what? We'll calm down and we'll do it at a pace, not forgetting our stretch goals that we've given over to God. I love the question. I don't know your name, but I would love us to still talk after now. We can always chat another, if that's okay.
All right, thank you very much. My name is Colin.
Oh, okay, Keme. Sorry?
No, Colin.
Okay. Okay, SMARTer goals. So somebody asked about SMARTer goals. The acronym specific, S stands for specific, M stands for measurable. So S, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time bound. E stands for evaluate your goals, and R stands for re-evaluate. So you keep on re-evaluating. So Collins, thank you. Please put your number in the chat so that, or send us your number so we can chat after now and keep on talking. So SMARTer is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time bound. Evaluate your goals and re-evaluate your goals. TAG stands for talent, abilities, gifts, and skills. SHAPE stands for your soul, your heart, your passion, your abilities, and your experiences. I'm an acronym person. So thank you very much for today. It's been awesome spending today with you. Spending just a few hours with you. Do enjoy the rest of your day, and God bless. Thank you. So we can unmute and tell me bye and say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Thank
you. Bye. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank
you.
Everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Let's go.
Thank you.
If anybody from our region,
Thank you so much. Doye, thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
What else? What else? People get drama, drama really say no. You don't know what to do that they cannot do it well. If they are good at drama, what do you have to do? You tell people to come out and do it for you. That's where we come to the house. If you do that, drama for that, you don't want to